Let's watch progressive Democrat Summer Lee, who fully embodies the kind of Democrat I think we need to lean into going forward, as she sounds off on Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and these attacks that we're seeing unfold in real time on our democracy. Hey you, yes, you, we now have a Substack website where you can help support the channel. For just $8 a month, you can get daily articles exposing the chaos in Trump's first 100 days, a weekly podcast, and other exclusive perks, all while helping the channel grow and defend democracy. This is something that's not just very important to me, but enables us to get our message out to the most amount of people while also being just a genuine passion that I would love to pursue. So for those who have been wondering how to support the channel, how to help us grow, you can sign up now at the first link in our description. Thank you, and let's get back to the video.
We are witnessing the biggest con in real time. Our federal government is being fleeced by a handful of billionaires at the expense of everyday people. They're what we call unelected billionaire oligarchs, and they are not trying to right-size the government. They're not trying to make things more efficient or improve services. They want to eliminate their competition and grow their private coffers. The collective net worth of the president's cabinet is over $460 billion. That is unprecedented in our country's history, even counting the days of the robber barons, or when the only folks who could serve in government were landowning wealthy white men. This isn't just government by the top 1%. It is government by the top 0.0001%.
It is a government that's trying to return to those days, however, where the rich, straight, white, landowning male are the ones who dictated what was best for society, which typically was just what was best for themselves, and then let the rest catch whatever crumbs might fall through. And you see this already. Russ Vought, the Project 2025 billionaire that Trump has enlisted, is already acting to defund the CFPB, something that has returned over $20 billion to consumers who were scammed by tech bro billionaires and industry giants, and is on track to save another $20 billion each and every year in junk fees from consumers. They are defunding this because, well, the billionaires in Trump cabinet want to be able to scam you without repercussions. Elon Musk is also now going after Medicare and Social Security with Doge, because the pet project of the richest man in the world is to further steal money from poor people.
These aren't just disinterested outsiders who are benevolent volunteers coming in to help us situate our government, right? These are people who have conflict of interests. They have financial stakes. They are even tied to litigation against the very agencies that they have been tasked to lead. Musk alone has nearly 100 government contracts across 17 federal agencies that total $3 billion. By all accounts, Musk is now running rampant through our federal agencies, accountable to no one, and doing what he pleases with federal systems and data with no transparency and no oversight. It's still unclear if he has security clearance or if he's passed a background check. He certainly hasn't filed any financial disclosures. This is absolutely outrageous, and Americans are rightfully mad.
She is spot on here as well. Elon Musk hasn't been vetted. We have no assurance that he isn't influenced by foreign interests. If anything, we know that he's had secret conversations with Putin, so he very well might be. He has no oversight. There isn't anyone who can come to him and put him in check. He has enough money and power to primary any Republican Congress members who come out against him. What checks and balances do we have for Elon? As a federal judge has already blocked this, unconstitutional nonsense for what it is, Elon Musk and JD Vance and Trump are talking about defying the judge. They've defied the legislature and Congress, and they've went outside of the bounds of the executive and enacted powers that are enumerated to Congress in stopping funding and slashing funding from agencies, things that Congress is supposed to do. Now they're talking about defying the judiciary. This is quite literally a dictator. Like, that is literally dictatorship. It's also like the tech authoritarian playbook to remove power from the courts. Now, this is how democracy gets destroyed. The validity of the courts just gets tossed to the side. The checks and the balances for the executive are completely done away with. But this is what MAGA wants. This is in a way what they voted for. They want these people to come in and have king-like power and do whatever they want without democratic checks and balances, despite it being clear that they only have their own best interests in mind, because no wonder Elon Musk hasn't touched the Pentagon or the government contracts that make him the most subsidized man in America, or that also affect all the other tech bro billionaires that have been cozying up to Trump, or the big oil subsidies for all the donors that donated to Trump, or the loans that the government take from commercial banks and billionaires and then pay back with interest. Like, none of that matters to Elon. None of that is waste or corruption. But the USAID and the CFPB, those have to go for sure.
Why does an unelected billionaire need access to Americans' social security numbers and the $6 trillion payment system? And if this operation is so legit, why is there no transparency? Why are we pretending this is about right sizing? The only logical answer is greed and corruption. Dr. Resch, do you agree that there is a corruption risk with this level of unaccountable access, and that Musk could use this data to gain an advantage over his competitors?
Whenever there is no security clearance, there is a corruption risk. Whenever there is entanglements in terms of being a contractor or a contracted entity and a regulated entity, but with access to data or unfettered access to protected government data, there is a risk of corruption.
Thank you so much. Beyond Musk and the rest of the cabinet appointees, just look at the powerful tech CEOs who had front row seats to Trump's inauguration and also have financial stakes with the very agencies that Trump is now looking to fundamentally overhaul. Nearly every executive action taken so far has been designed to make corruption easier. In the first week alone, Trump fired 17 inspectors general across 18 agencies. These are nonpartisan watchdogs, and this includes the one from the Treasury Department, who could have served as a guardrail against Musk's efforts.
And it is an absolutely unprecedented and historic move to come in and mass fire inspectors generals, because these are, again, nonpartisan people who don't get into politics. They aren't elected politically, that is. They're considered to be the last barrier between these agencies and them becoming political versus just doing the duties for the American people or becoming corrupt because of partisanship, money, whatever it may be, where Trump's goal per Project 2025 is to remove that, make these agencies entirely political, and replace them all with loyalists. Also, then he can come in and do stuff like how he's doing with Musk, give him unfiltered access against the powers that are enumerated to the executive to take them from the legislative, the Congress, and just go in and do it, right? He bought and paid for them, right? Elon Musk sent him the $250 million throughout his campaign to get him elected, so he's got to let him do that. And this is what the right pretended George Soros was doing for the longest time, what they pretended Mark Zuckerberg was doing after 2020, what they pretended that they hated so vehemently, but now because someone is doing it who will push for Nazi ideologies, we're supposed to think it's all okay now. The problem is, if George Soros was actually doing this, I would have had a major problem with it because I have consistent standards. MAGA, however, only holds these standards when they think they can use them against Democrats in some conspiracy. When Republicans actually do them, it's fake news. It's corruption at its finest. Again, this is how democracy gets destroyed. They're brazenly breaking the law. They know they can get away with it with little to no consequences. And what we're going to get from it is a slew of Nazi talking points, right-wing propaganda straight out of Russia, and the erosion of facts and data, most importantly.